Cheers, Metal Maniacs! This is Mutard from Germany, and you are thrashing it up with Dave Softees Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio!
I will make your ears ring as you cross the way. This is not a blast, the path is off the brain. The thirst for blood is endless and it hunts night and day. There's no way I can stop it, this is cop brutality. Wiener is a weapon and I'm not afraid to use it. Like a hairy Avon, but no way to defuse it. Leave the kid and watch, the sausage man abuse it. His face is very pretty, my meaning's unreproducive. This is cop brutality. I am the judge, I am the jury, I am the executioner. I am the judge, I am the jury, I am the executioner. Judge, jury, executioner. Judge, jury, executioner. Slap to the left and a slap to the right. No questions asked, my rap was right with mine. What's the matter if it's daylight or the middle of the night? My skin keeps violating everything that's in its sight. I won't need no mercy, you'll throw down the fleshy gauntlet. After I'm done with you forever, you'll be haunted. Once a solid member, I will punk you in the stomach. And chop a man to bang before I tell you fucking vomit. The hammer of justice will slap you in the face until you are bloodless, extinct the human race. Worst comes to shove, I will slap you till you're dead. One root remark, fatal blow to the head. Children, women, elderly, everyone's a threat. I can't expect humanity, that's why I began. My sex drive is deranged, making love like any joy. Whenever I am rapid with a woman gets destroyed. Violence in the workplace, that's why I'm unemployed. My penis is a burden ever since I was a boy. This is cop brutality. I am the judge, I am the jury, I am the executioner. I am the judge, I am the jury, I am the executioner. Judge, jury, executioner. Judge, jury, executioner.
Alrighty, here we go, Metal Maniacs. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Germany, from Thrash Metalers Mutard. Joining us, please introduce yourself, guys.
I am Kim and I'm doing the vocals, and
I'm Tilo and I play the guitar.
Oh,
our bassist Hauk sick, and our drummer Gritzy just doesn't have time.
all right. So we're with Thilo
Sadly.
and Kim. Welcome aboard. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes, I want to welcome you to the Metal Meltdown, and I want to thank you for this opportunity. I just got back to do the Metal Meltdown for Season 10, and the very first thing LC, our owner, our chief of command over here, he says, check out Mutard and see if you can get an interview with them, and here we are. So this is what we did. So I see that the band formed in 2013. I'm very interested to know who selected Mutard as the band's name.
So the idea of the name was from our bassist Haug. He wanted to do a fun little band and so he said Mutard would be an appropriate name for not so serious stuff. And in the beginning, it was intended to be a grindcore project. There was no music written or no musicians acquired, just the name. And from there, he started to ask people if they wanted to join the band. And
Grindcore, quite interesting, because I have checked out your EP, Inhuman Inebriation, and it's really fun thrash sound that has true thrash and humor, and I love the cover. It's a typical like crossover thrash type of cover with the pizza and the beer. I'm very interested to know though how your tunes all came together, who wrote the music and who wrote the lyrics, and it's quite interesting that you were gonna be a grindcore band, but you are thrash. So I love thrash. Grindcore, I can't say I'm really.
Sorry, I said grindcore. I meant porn. It's a difference, I guess.
Oh,
my mistake. Sorry.
Porncore.
Porn grind.
Porn grind. I'm not familiar with porn grind. It sounds like it could be.
He
fun.
wanted to go for the most obscure genre in metal, so I guess it was intended to be a porn grind band.
I see. I'm not really familiar with porn grind, but I guess it must be pretty humorous in some ways.
Me neither. I'm not familiar with the genre too. So
there you go.
Actually, none of us really listened to porn grind or anything like that. It was just we were drunk, we were sitting in a bar, and we were like, "Hey, let's form a band. Okay, let's make something stupid. Hey, porn grind, and let's just make the dumbest band ever." Just figured out some stupid song titles like, oh my god, I think it's not appropriate. Like "Wanking on the Wheelchair" was one of them.
Oh, that's funny.
But it was just a fun idea which never really was realized. And like a year later, our bassist tried to make a band music we actually all like to listen to and to play. And as we're all loving thrash metal, we were like, yeah, okay, fuck, let's do a thrash metal.
Yeah, you do have
at the beginning.
You do have quite a few interesting titles. One I can pronounce very well. The other two I don't understand what that is. But like Cock Brutality, yeah, that's a funny name for a tune. But what is AX, MX, PX, CX? That I don't understand that. And 2F at 2SK8.
It's the short form.
It's a short form?
Those are short forms. AMPC is the short form for Mutard Party Crew.
Ah.
And F at SK8 is the short form for Too Fat to Skate.
Oh, I got you. That is interesting.
You know,
that is
the
funny.
problem was we have the song "Too Drunk to Drink" on the EP, and to name another song "Too Fat to Skate," we thought it would be too similar to name two songs "Too Something" would notice. So
yeah, that makes sense. I don't mean to be a little mutarded over here, but I just had to ask you what the songs were like named that way for. But it does make sense what you're saying. It is totally unique and different, so that is cool.
yeah, thank you.
No problem. So tell me how the music came together. How did this collaboration of songs on your EP? Who got this together? Who wrote the music and who wrote the lyrics?
Actually, Tilo, our guitarist, is the master brain of Mutard. He writes most of the riffs and songs and lyrics, and we just do what he wrote for us. Sometimes Hauk, the bassist, writes songs as well. And on our demo, Zombie Addiction, I wrote some lyrics too.
All right.
But Tilo is doing most of the work.
Interesting. Thank you for explaining that. Yeah.
In the beginning, we tried to come together and music and lyrics together, but in the end, we just got drunk, so we canceled that, and I just brought in some ideas. And also, like Kim just said, he writes some lyrics and Hauk writes some lyrics or some riffs, and then they evolve into finished with the time. So it's more like everybody contributes stuff.
Excellent.
But Tilo is still doing most of the work.
Most of the work, but he shares it with you, and you guys all work together, which is very cool. Where was this recorded, your EP, Inhuman Inebriation, and who produced this?
We recorded it in our rehearsal room at the time, but moved out of the rehearsal room during the production of the EP, so it was difficult for us to just keep the level of the same audio quality because we had no rehearsal room after that time. We had the struggles to record it properly. The gang shouts, for example, were recorded in a moldy old bass from a friend of ours. You can hear the echo in the gang shouts. We produced it in our rehearsal room.
I see. You did a good job. And I noticed that the EP was self-released, which is not a surprise or a big issue, but I'm curious to know if you have been looking to actually get signed to a label.
We sent out some copies of the EP to just 2 or 3 labels we knew from other bands we played shows with, the work of the label, but we weren't too eager to get signed or something. Because the EP was already finished and we already started producing, we started already pressing, so the label could only take the finished.
Right.
But they didn't.
I understand you basically you had a finished product, so there was really no need for you to deal with a label unless they offered you something like a deal where they would do a lot more for you. So hopefully in the future, before your first official full album, maybe something can happen with one of those labels that you're interested in, or if they're interested in you, and then you could get with something like that from the beginning. That would be to your benefit. But even if not, you release your own stuff, you'll be fine.
Maybe it's worth mentioning that the labels we contacted ever wrote back or something like that. So maybe the chances.
We didn't get any fucking answer.
I was gonna ask
the chances to be released in a major label or something like
that. Oh yeah.
That are close to 0. So.
Yeah, that's how it is, especially in this day and age. But the question had to be asked, you know. But like I said, it's not very important this day and age to be signed to a label. Sometimes it's better off to do everything yourself, especially at this stage of your careers, you know. I'm interested to know about the artwork for your EP. The cover art is quite thrashy, so I need to ask, you know, who designed this, and also who created the band's logo for Mutard.
We were looking like all over Facebook and Instagram and every other social media stuff until we found someone who we thought would have a style that would fit to our band. And then we found that guy called Kyle Bunga, which makes artworks for acceptable price, which really fit our style. So we asked him if he wants to create an artwork for us. And we told him what we want, and then he drew it.
That's cool. Where's he from?
He's from the United States. He's a fellow American of yours.
He is. The name I've heard, Kyle Bunga, but I didn't know where he was from.
I can't remember the state he's from, so Oregon or something like that.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know that.
But check him out. It's awesome artwork if you like 90s skate stuff and just weird motifs. He's the guy for you, so check him out. It's really worth it. And the logo was designed by our bassist Haug, but it was revamped for the album cover by Kalbanga to fit the major style of the cover itself. So he just tweaked it a little bit, but in the end it's our bass player's design, and we stick with it ever since.
Very nice, and it also goes very great with thrash because of the bright green toxic type of color. It works very well for Mutard. And I was looking on your Facebook, and it's really good to know that Mutard is a live performing band. Have you been performing in support of the EP? Have you got any shows coming up that you'd like to spread the word on?
We played shows to support the EP for like the last 6 months. We had awesome gigs. We really enjoyed playing at the open air festival and stuff like that. But the next big thing for us is like on October 28th, we're gonna play with Space Chaser. It's from the new wave of German thrash bands. It's one of the biggest bands, and you should totally check them out. Space Chaser, they're more like they have this heavy metal, and we're really looking forward to play with them again. They're like the German Gamma Bomb,
Oh yeah, very nice.
if you will.
Oh, I'm sure I'll love it then. I'll have to check them out. Excellent info. Thank you. And let's give your YouTube channel. You have the Mutard YouTube channel, and we've been spreading the video "Too Drunk to Drink." It's your official video from the Metalheads Open Air 2017. Would you like to talk about this, the production of it, and if you plan on making any more music or lyrical videos?
We actually plan to release a second music video this year for Too Fat to Skate, but we just didn't make it because it was too much work for us to seriously record. But the video for Too Drunk to Drink to play at the Metalheads Open Air, which is a smaller festival in the south of Germany, and we just recorded people on the campground drinking booze, drinking beer. We recorded us on the stage, and just thought that the vibe the video brings just really fits Mutard.
Very nice. You had fun making that video, it sounds like, too.
Don't remember most of it, but
Then you had
it's
too much
just
fun.
impressions from the camping ground of that specific festival. But it was a lot of fun. A very nice experience for us because it was our first open air festival, or the second, sorry. We just had the chance to hang around the camping ground for 2 days and get drunk with all the metal maniacs out there, and they wanted to appear in the video, so we just compiled some impressions from the camping ground, and that's what you can see.
There you go.
By the way, my favorite moment of that video was the part where this girl puked her soul out. We asked her if we should censor her face or if we just can release it like that, and she was like, fuck it, just release it, I don't care. And that was really awesome.
Very nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Shout out to Duffy.
Duffy Photography. She's a quite well-known metal photographer in South Germany.
And her name is Duffy, huh? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's spend some time talking about merch. I noticed that Mutard has a Bandcamp page. It's mutard.bandcamp.com/releases. Would you say that would be the best place for a new fan of Mutard, or even an existing Mutard fan, to get a copy of the CD or whatever other merch you may have, so that the fans can support the band? Or do you have another suggestion of how Mutard fans can get your merch, get your CD, and whatever other merch you may have currently available for them? What would you say about that?
Just write us a message on Facebook. It's the easiest way for us and the easiest way for you.
Okay, there you go. Facebook.
Bandcamp is the worst place to order merch. So
It is. I did not
just
know
go
that.
over to our website mutard.de.
I understand. So it's either Facebook or mutard.de. Let the fans send you a message, and you'll get back to them and work it all out.
Yeah, we have a little tab on the website regarding merch, so you can see what we have in quotation marks store for them, and just write us a message what you want, where you live, so we can check what the shipping costs are, stuff like that. But just write.
Okay, thank you for
Yes.
that info. Now, besides drinking beer and eating pizza, what do all of you in Mutard, all the members, what do you do when you're not doing the band?
Work.
Right? What do you do for work?
For example, work with, I don't know how to say it in English, like mentally ill people,
Okay.
like a psych,
Deal with psychotic people?
yeah, like people with depressions or
Mentally handicapped, mentally ill people?
schizophrenia.
I got you. That's a pretty important job, actually.
Yeah, fun. It's never getting boring.
Yeah, I'm sure every day is an interesting day for you.
Yeah, sure.
And what about the other guys? What do they do?
Hauk, the bassist, he works Zeiss, which is a very big German factory.
Yeah, but that's not what we do for fun, you know. But you just said besides pizza and beer, there's not much to tell you what we do for fun because that's the most fun part in everybody's life,
There you go.
I guess. Yeah.
So, we work and we and drink beer. That's all we do.
I got you.
That's the essence of Mutard, you know.
I got you. I got you. I understand.
And B.
Well, thank you for explaining that to
Our
us. there.
drummer likes to techno parties.
And would you like to talk about your gear for a bit? Do you like to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. If that's interesting for you, I'm not a drummer, so I can't tell you exactly what our drummer is playing. He has a black drum kit and sticks. Our bass player, he uses a PV, a valve amp, and Fender Jazz bass, and I am using a very cheap Bugera 6260 valve amp because I'm too poor to buy the proper PV one. And my guitar is a Jackson Randy Rhoads style guitar with a Seymour Duncan passive pickups.
And I'm shouting into a Shure Super 55 microphone, like that Elvis mic looking thing, but with newer technique.
With a built-in feedback, the
Feedback.
microphone of our singer, because
Oh, okay, okay. Very cool. Well, I want to thank you for spending time with us on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio today. And would like to know, what would you say is the next step for Mutard? What are your future plans with the band?
the next step we want to take is to record a proper debut album, but we are too lazy to rehearse new songs, so it maybe take up to like early 2019 until that gets done. So, but that's our next step, I guess.
We actually got song material, but we are too lazy to rehearse it so we can actually play it.
Well, I understand you, and I wish that when you can get the music done for that, you know, if it takes till 2020, doesn't matter. But when you have your new music, I want to invite you back on the Metal Meltdown that we could talk about your first official debut full offering. So, you know, take your time, but do it right. When you're ready, I'll be here waiting for you. Talk more about your music, talk about everything related to it when the time is right. So, you know, have your fun. Don't be so lazy. Try to get it done when you can.
That's not just the laziness; it's stupidity too. So
Well, yeah, because you're a little bit mutarded.
that's how
it.
we were born. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Born retarded.
Yeah, well, I'm a little mutarded as well. That's how it is. You know, when you're in metal, when you're involved in metal, sometimes you get mutarded, and you got to crank it up.
That's how it is when you're in metal.
That's it, exactly. At this time, would you like to say anything to the Mutard fans out there that are tuning in?
Yeah, we want to say thank you to everyone listening to the EP on YouTube or wherever, Spotify, wherever you can lay your hands on, especially from overseas, in the United States, Latin America. We get a lot of positive feedback, and that's just overwhelming how positive the people respond to the album on your continent, and that's just awesome. And we want to say thank you for all the kind words.
Excellent, excellent. Spread the mutardness around the world. That's what we need to do. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining us here at Metal Messiah Radio on the Metal Meltdown. I want to wish all in Mutard a great what's left of 2017 and all the years to come. And like I said, I'd love to have you back as a regular guest here to talk about your music. So when the timing is right and your future releases, just know you have a home here on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio to talk all about your music. So I wish you the best of success in all the years to come. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, man. Whenever you want us, call us.
You got it. We'll definitely reach out to you. Let's go crank up some more Mutard now and crank it up loud.